everyone, welcome back to Joe Man's Land. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today's video is made possible by two amazing groups, one being Bridgeland Distillery, thanks for hosting me, and the second being Panasonic, who sent me the lens we're going to be talking about. Today we're going to be having a look at this beautiful lens, the 35mm F1.8 prime full frame lens. One of the reasons I love shooting with 35s is it's very natural to the eye, and it's really a focal length that a lot of folks overlook. So today we're going to be making a video for the distillery, and we will be only using this lens for the duration of the shoot. So that's what we'll be focusing on today, is video with the 35, and then we'll move outside and move into street photography with this lens as well, and then we'll wrap it all back at the home studio. Whew. Well, that was a ton of fun. Really loved shooting with the 35 for video. It was very natural to look at. I did shoot in mostly 1080 120 because this video will be living on Instagram. So vertical format on Instagram cannot be 4K. It down reses anyway. So I took advantage of that and shot in slow motion as much as possible. But that's enough of using this lens in a video / controlled environment. Let's hit the streets of Calgary and let's see what this can do in an urban environment for video, but predominantly for photos. Whew. Man, how the weather can change in Calgary in just an instant. Is the same day as the distillery video, but as you can see, it is snowing super hard. We're gonna make this part of the video pretty quick because I don't want to get too much of my gear wet. It's actually springtime here in Canada, and believe it or not, these are our versions of spring showers. Yep, all of the snow, especially even in these trees. This is par for the course living in Alberta, but it does create really cool images, and capturing the snow falling adds a lot of movement. I've got the 35mm on the S5II right now. I put a variable ND on it just to see what would happen. We'll do a couple walking, vlogging tests with it, just with the built-in mic. And then we'll find a spot just to talk about what we thought of this for street photography, and then we'll get back to the home studio and wrap this video up. Well, just in case you're wondering what vlogging with the 35 looks like, it looks like this. It's usually a pretty tight focal length on your face, usually a bit tighter than what you'd want, and especially if you've got any stabilization turned on inside the camera, that punching is going to be even more pronounced. But I mean, you have to get lots of separation between yourself and your background, which is nice. The closer you get, the more bokeh there is. But yeah, that's enough of me using the internal mic. Let's continue this walk. I'm having way too much fun in the snow today, even though it is technically spring in Canada. Well, I would first of all have to say that for street photography, I'm loving this lens a lot. Yes, I know when you're using a prime lens, you lose the flexibility of having a zoom where you can change your composition from one position. But what you get back is something with superior optical quality and usually a wider aperture. At 1.8, this lens does really well. It's sharp from corner to corner and you get lots of separation between your subject and background. In addition, this lens is nice and light. I'm finding shooting street photos with just my S5II and this on it isn't making my neck sore at all, and it just feels really great in the hands. And the focus ring on it is also great as well. Not too tight. The only other switch is just the auto manual switch, pretty standard on most primes from Panasonic, but definitely performs really well. But that's enough of the beautiful spring here in Calgary, Alberta. Let's get back to the home studio, wrap this video up, and talk a bit more about who this lens is for.
Oh man, what a day. I mean, we started out in a distillery and then we ended up in a snowstorm doing street photography. But honestly, I couldn't have asked for more variety in one full day with a prime lens. Well, right now you're actually seeing me through the 35mm 1.8. I've got it wide open. We're shooting at ISO 250, 4K 24, all the staves turned off. We're shooting at a shutter angle of 180, so should have lots of motion blur. It's pretty much the optimal scenario we could shoot this lens in. And the autofocus is nice and snappy and I'm loving it a ton. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys what this lens looked like in a more controlled environment on a tripod, but let's just round out with who this lens is for. Well, I think it's meant for a wide variety of shooters. You know, at 35mm, you can use that for portraits of people, you can use it for product shots, you can use it for videography, and it's really pleasing to the eye. Prime lenses that are more punched in, you are a little bit more limited with what you can do, and primes that are wider, I mean, you're not going to get that great separation between your subject and the background. The 35mm focal length definitely bridges that gap, and this lens by Panasonic is definitely something I would consider purchasing in the future. Now, is the 35mm focal length the perfect focal length for everything? No, it's not. It's definitely kind of a stopgap, that in-between style of shooter. But as someone that shoots hybrid and often doesn't want to change lenses, this is something that I could see myself turning to on a regular basis. But I mean, that's just me. In the comments below, I'd love to hear what your thoughts were on the images in the video coming out of this lens, and also what your favorite prime focal length is. But before we sign off, just a special thanks again to Panasonic North America for making this video possible and supplying me with the gear. If you guys would like to check out their lenses and some of their other products, check out the link below. Or maybe you're coming to Calgary and you're into spirits. If you are, check out Bridgeland Distillery, the link below. They do weekend tours all the time, special bookings, or you can go just to their cocktail lounge and sample some of their amazing products. Well, let's wrap this one here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember to take beautiful photos every single day. Don't do it for the views, do it for yourself, and I look forward to seeing you all in another video super duper soon.